Hello, and another good evening to all our viewers across the globe. We are back again with another exciting episode of Sportanic Redefined show. Today we have our friend from India, Utkarsh Kumar. How are you, sir? And how are you doing right now?
Hey, hi Sayed. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me for this wonderful topic, women's cricket, and yeah, looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, it's really a hot topic right now, and it would be interesting to hear you about the development of the women cricket, especially in India, as we have seen the beginning of Women Premier League. India being the pilot project when it came to the men franchise cricket, and now coming to the women franchise cricket. So first of all, let me just ask you that beginning of the franchise tournaments for women. How do you
Yeah.
rate this thing? Because before WPL, we have seen Big Bash League that was also being played in the women medium, but that was not getting much of the hype. As far as when the WPL launched, that was a lot of hype, and the media covered, and again the money factor and all that stuff. So how do you see that thing?
Sayed, when it's about cricket in India, it always gets the hype, the noise. But I'd like to correct you when you say that Women's Premier League is going to be the pilot project for franchisee cricket in for franchisee format in women's cricket. WBBL, the Women's Big Bash League, and the women's edition of the 100
Mhm.
in England. So both these tournaments, they did receive uh, a very good acknowledgement across the globe among the people who actually follow cricket and especially women's cricket. And these tournaments have been fairly successful, and I believe that's why even the BCCI had the uh, the kind of conviction that okay, we had a successful the 100 tournament, we had a successful women's big bash league, so let's start with the women's premier league. So
Mhm.
these franchisee tournaments have been there, and they have done pretty well.
Yeah. So, the reason for me to tell this as a pilot project, India uh, has been a big prominent name in cricket, as we all know. And as I said, that hype was actually missing because the subcontinent, especially the subcontinent countries, for example, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, these countries were not that much involved coming to the women cricket, except India. India has been investing in that. So that is the reason that I actually told that this might be the pilot project. We
Yeah,
already seen that Pakistan also had three women matches,
yeah,
Amazon underscore women. So this culture is developing, and India is being the pilot in this scene. so
yeah,
so that is what my question was, and that is
yeah,
what I actually asked you about.
yeah.
So well, coming to the WPL straight, we know that the investors and the league format is pretty the same that was in the IPL, but the team performances has been quite shaky. Mumbai Indians, we know we have been a lot of even in the both countries, across the globe, Mumbai Indian has a lot of fan base. And coming to the women's sector as well, now they are developing that, winning 4 out of 4. And what are your team ratings as far as you're there and you're following the game? So, what are your team structures and team ratings for this year's WPL?
So you had rightly pointed, the performances so far in the W Premier League. So there are five teams in total: Mumbai Indians, the Delhi Capitals, Royal Challengers Bangalore. So these three are the franchisees who play the IPL as well.
Yeah.
Apart from these three, there are two new teams: the UP Warriors and Gujarat Giants. So
Hmm.
among these five teams, the performances have been skewed. Like Mumbai won 4 games straight, four out of 4 games, and they are on the top. RCB, well, continuing their poor luck and form here in the WPL as well. Like they have lost all 4 of the 4 games, and they are at the bottom of the points table. And
Yeah.
so my personal reading of the team standings are pretty much in line with the points table. So I expected Delhi Capitals and UP Warriors to do well. Like they had a pretty solid side at the auction. Mumbai Indians
Yeah.
for me had surprised, to be honest. So Mumbai has they have come together as a team. So if you look at their team structure, so you won't find like T20 superstars, like lot of T20 big names there. There is Harmanpreet Kaur, of course, the captain. There are a couple of good overseas signings, but as a team, I personally expected, let's say, Delhi Capitals. A team which has Meg Lanning, the Australian skipper, Shefali Verma,
Yeah.
the Indian opener, Jemima Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. Similarly, I expected UP Warriors. They have Deepthi Sharma. They have Talia Magrath, Elisa Healy. So these teams, Mumbai actually they don't have any Australian signing. That was a surprising thing to begin with, and look like they have done pretty well as a team. And one of the reasons for that, I believe, is like maybe they have invested in all rounders. So
Mm-hmm.
the all rounders, Amelia Kerr, she has stepped up. Pooja Vastrakar, then Nat Saver, she
Yeah.
has really been the pillar in the middle order. So the all rounders have done Mumbai Indians. Uh, they have done quite well there, and
Mm-hmm.
I expect it to be in line with what it is, what the points table look right now.
Yeah. But coming to the fact yet again, RCB getting in some big names, failing in the tournament. So, how do you think Simriti Mandhana, they have a captain who is one of the superstars in women cricket? So, how do you rate that, and what are the flaws that they are lacking? Either they are lacking in the bowling department, or maybe it's the batting that has been below par this season.
So, before answering the question, I'd like to tell you that I am personally a Royal Challengers Bangalore fan in the Women's Premier League. And to be honest, I'm like, just like any other RCB fan, I'm also disappointed with their performance. In fact, as we speak, there's a game going on between RCB and Delhi Capitals, and
Yeah.
like it's in a bit of iffy situation. But coming back to your question, what has gone wrong for RCB? So yeah, they went for big names. Smriti Mandana, she's a superstar in Indian women's cricket. She has been there. She was in a pretty good form in the recently concluded World Cup as well. Elise Perry, she doesn't require any introduction.
Yeah.
Then you have Sophie Divine, you have Heather Knight. So all these are pretty big names, but they have done they have done fair in the batting department. But what they have really lacked is the bowling. So they don't have they didn't pick up good spinners to begin with. Like they have few local talents, but then you do require that that international kind of uh, I wouldn't say caliber, but that standard of spin bowling is
Yeah.
lacking there, which has hurt them. To add to that, the pace bowling department. So they do look strong on paper in pace bowling. Renuka Singh Thakur, like India's best pacer, Elise Perry herself, then Megan Shoot from Australia. These three are they. I expected them to be really on the top, but like all three of them have disappointed with their bowling, and RCB have gone for lots and lots of runs, and that's what has hurt them. So they need to step up their bowling.
Well, as you mentioned that RCB's weak link is being the bowling because they
Yeah,
have big names, but
yeah,
you also know that in subcontinent normally we see that the pitches are spin friendly. So coming to that point, you have mentioned the fast bowlers like Alice Perry
yeah,
or maybe the other name you took. Uh,
yeah,
this should have not been the plan for RCB to maintain because we all know in men's cricket even that bowling win you the tournament and batting can win you a match. So
yeah.
if they are in that frame of mind, they want to win the tournament or they want to be the successful story of the tournament, why would they pick up all pace, all pace bowling attack being playing that is being played in India? So how is that you see that thing? Isn't
Yeah,
that a bit brain fade
yeah.
of thing?
So I would call it brain fed. So RCB has, behind the back of the franchisee, so they have a pretty good, scouting team who, go around
Hmm.
the country, who, kind of pick the local talent. So RCB is known for that. And of course, like Mike Hesson, they're the director of cricket operations at RCB. So he's a very good brain, cricketing brain in the squad, in the team. So it's not like brain fade, but and I was also surprised because one of the major things is the tournament is played only on two venues, the CCI Stadium in Mumbai and the Navi Mumbai Stadium. So you do expect that, when lots of matches are being played on just the two venues, so the pitch is going to go under like wear and tear in the later half of the tournament, and the spinners are going to be really handy.
Mhm.
RCB did not pick any internationally renowned spinners. They have picked like local, like the domestic Indian performers. There's Shriyanka Patil, who is a localite from Bangalore itself. Then there is Shobhana, there is Preeti Bose. So these domestic names are there, but they do lack that international kind of representation from the spinner, from the spin department. They're like teams like, if you look at the UP Warriors, so UP has got Deepti Sharma, one of the best off spinners right now. Sophie Eccleston, the number one
Yeah.
bowler right
So
now.
yeah, just
Uh, Rajeshwari Gaikwad, again, she plays for India regularly. So you see three international spinners there in the UP Warriors side. Similarly, if you look at, let's say, Delhi Capitals, they have Radha Yadav, they have Jess Jonathan, again like two spinners who play regularly for their teams. So you see, RCB didn't have that advantage.
yeah. Well, the player pool in case of women cricket is pretty low. The amount of players that are available to choose from are very low. So we cannot blame the teams having that, being in that option. No, everyone has the pressure to build up the best squad. But how do you think, as as a viewer or maybe as an analyst, how do you think that this can actually increase the amount of players and how this can be like done by scouting? As you already told, there is a
Yeah,
scouting team behind
yeah,
every this kind of seasons.
yeah.
So how do you think this can increase the player amounts, and so that coming into the future seasons, maybe we see a lot of players, new players, making out their name out there and making out to the team? So it's like that.
So, Sayed, it's not that the player pool is very less. In fact, I was surprised after the auction. Many big names in the international cricketing arena, they did not get picked.
Hmm.
Someone like Laura Walwart. Now she is
Yeah. She's a big name.
dashing. Yeah, she is a big name. She is a dashing opener from South Africa. She did not get picked initially. Then there are many other players like that who did not get picked. I think it's more about teams adjusting to the format. So
Yeah.
WPL is it's being held for the first time, and the teams, they might not be sure like how it will play out. So I think it's just that the first time thing. The teams are just getting accustomed to the format, the
Yeah.
franchisee cricket, and as as the league goes on, and I'm sure like the team size will also increase. More and more domestic players from not just India but outside India will get featured in the tournament.
Well, that is it's definitely the start, and when the things
Yeah,
move on, it will definitely get better. Well,
yeah,
that was my next question actually.
yeah,
Being a fan of Indian
yeah.
cricket, how do you see this WPL advantaging the women's side of India? uh, they have been on pretty a high note. They have been playing semi-finals or maybe finals of the tournament, just not able to finish this thing out.
Yeah.
But that would definitely be changing in some time. But coming to that point, do you really think that WPL like India has currently 2 to 3 playing 11s that they can play at any venue in the world? Do you really think that this WPL can also lead your women's side to have around 2 to 3 playing 11s? And how much time would this require to reach that level?
So, Sayed, like as an Indian cricket fan, I would not want to, have like five, six playing 11s who can play simultaneously. I would rather want, one strong playing 11 who can, win you trophies, who can win you tournaments, which has not been the
Yeah,
case for Indian cricket in the last few years. Just like the men's cricket, women's cricket also, like we have faced some upsetting defeats. uh,
yeah,
I remember like watching 20 uh, the 2017 50 over World Cup, Women's World Cup final, in the mess of my hostel. And like there were quite a few, cricketing enthusiasts who were, supporting and cheering, and India were in a pretty good position to win the match, but then somehow the match slipped out of our hands and we lost it from there. Recently, I remember the Commonwealth Games again, like we were
yeah.
this close to, winning it, and we lost to Australia. Uh, the T20 World Cup again, like we lost to Australia in the semi-finals by like the barest of margins. So I I believe that, playing with international cricketers, the best of them from like everywhere, it will really help our girls to, grow that
Yeah,
psychology, to, to not just perform good, but if you are performing good, then ensure that, your performance counts in the victory of your side. So someone like
yeah,
Shefali Verma, so she is opening with Meg Lanning. So of course, like uh, she's the best she can learn from, right?
yeah,
Someone like Jemima Rodriguez playing alongside
yeah,
Marizan Cap in the middle order for Delhi Capitals again. Like
yeah.
Jemima, no doubt, she is a very good talent, but then, there are times when, along with talent, you do need that experience, you do
Hard
need
work,
that,
yeah.
composure,
Experience, yeah,
that kind of a mindset. Yeah, and
yeah,
that you can only, get either from playing yourself, or, by learning from the experience of those who have, come the long way. So
yeah.
these experienced names, Meg Lanning, Beth Mooney, unfortunately for Gujarat Giants, like she got injured in the first game itself, and like the she had to go out. But then there are other experienced campaigners, who from
Yeah.
whom I'm sure like the Indian players have a lot to learn, and especially like how to take their team home.
Well, that was really a mature answer to what my question was. I really,
Yeah,
this answer was needed. As a mature cricket fan, you have respected the game of cricket and the prestige of it. So that was really, I oblige your answer for that. Okay, now coming to the set, we have seen one of the better T20 World Cups this year, having seen that the competition was there. The competition was very severe and intense competition, and we saw even one of the centuries being scored at the tournament. So, how do you think, as a whole, the power hitting game, or we already see this a lot in the men's cricket, that power hitting is the future of the cricket, and T20 or maybe T10, these kind of stuff. Coming into the women also, uh, it's very much of a different phenomena when it comes to the women's side, because the power hitting is a different ball game for the women. So how do you think that this development, as you have named some big names, Meg Lanning or maybe Beth Mooney or these kind of players, they can hit big, they can hit long. Susie Bates maybe from the New Zealand. So how do you think these players can impact a whole new generation? I have seen young star from India, Risha Ghosh. She has been really inspiring, and she was the one who just took the win away from Pakistan in that group stage match against Pakistan in this
Yeah.
year's World Cup. So, well, congratulations for that. You are pretty much sparring me there. So, how do you think for that? What are your comments on this?
So firstly, like that was a very good game. I remember watching it, late night, and Richa Ghosh and Jemima Rodriguez also. So both of them
Yeah,
like had a pretty good partnership, and it was a very interesting game. Now, when you talk about power hitting, Richa actually today itself, like RCB was in a pretty tough spot, and Richa Ghosh, she came out, she hit three sixes, she hit a very quick, 35, 37 runs, and took RCB to a respectable total. So
yeah,
I'm a very big fan of her power hitting. There are quite a few, players like her across the country. So if I talk about Australia, you have Grace Harris, you have Ash Gardner, you have Talia
yeah,
McGrath. All these, like, they are known for their power hitting. They can
yeah, they
really
are.
hit the ball long.
Yeah,
You have then from West Indies, you have Haley Matthews, who again, like, who hits the ball long. And talking about inspiring, young cricketers, young girls. So yes, I also believe that power hitting game kind of it gives you that adrenaline rush, and
yeah,
any young girl watching the game would really be awed by those long sixes, by those blistering strokes, and would really be inspired by those shots. So power hitting will be a very key element in popularizing the women cricket, but I believe like power hitting is still not there at par with what we see in like men's cricket. So the kind of shots we have being played by someone like AB de Villiers in the past, or like Josh
yeah.
Butler, Surya Kumar Yadav, the kind of shots they play, which has kind of popularized the T20 franchisee game.
Hmm.
uh, that is still that is the women's cricket is still lacking that element, but
Yeah,
they have they have their own
own class and
the
own grace, right?
yeah, yeah,
That is,
they have their own the elements of grace,
yeah.
like I personally believe no shot can replace the beauty of a good straight drive or a good cover drive. So
No, yeah, that is something that is,
yeah.
that is eye catching, eye dropping, I mean, jaw dropping, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
okay, let me just test your knowledge a bit. Here we'll have a
Yeah.
little bit of a segment that is known as
Okay.
Guest Our Star. So
Okay.
I'll request my background team to just put the picture on, and I hope that you guess that.
Oh, Smriti.
Okay, can we get the answer, please?
Yeah, she is Smriti.
Oh, nice, nice. You got that. You
Yeah.
got that right. Okay, so
Yeah.
coming to our quiz part, there will be two questions just running on your screen,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
will be asked for the answer. Who was the only century maker in this year's T20 World Cup?
Okay, so it's the opener from Pakistan.
Uh-huh.
She wears glasses.
Okay.
Uh, her name starts with A. Uh,
Okay. Let me just. You have given all the hints right, but the name part you
yeah.
got it wrong a little. Just rethink, reshuffle a bit, and maybe you get the right.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I can give you the first initial of her name, that is M. Okay, now.
M.
Yeah.
Muniba. Muniba.
Okay. Moniba
Yeah.
Ali was the only
Yeah. Muniba Ali.
century getter.
Yeah.
Well, against Ireland. Second
Yeah.
question, please.
Which team?
Which team has won
you
the most
the,
T20 World Cups in the women cricket.
Sayed, you should have had another question. I mean, this is a no-brainer. Of course, Australia. I mean, the kind of dominance, yeah, the current bunch of Australian girls, it reminds me of the 2000s, men's Australian team. So you
Yeah,
remember that team, starting from Hayden, Gilchrist, Ponting, Damien Martin,
that
Hussey,
was that
Simons,
was
it
nightmare
was
for the Western
unbeatable.
opposition. Yeah,
So
that was
you
nightmare.
you look at current bunch of Australian girls, you have starting from Beth Mooney, Alyssa Haley, Meg Lanning, Talia McGrath, Elise Perry, Grace Harris, Laura Harris. I can just go on. Okay.
Well, you just
Like
name it and they have it. It's like that kind of
yeah,
effort for them.
exactly.
They
Exactly.
have it.
They are unbeatable.
Yeah, they are unbeatable, seriously.
Yeah,
Well, Prakash, it was a
yeah,
really great time. We
yeah,
enjoyed you being here, and thanks for the insightful knowledge that you have provided us regarding WPL. So,
yeah,
coming on to the prediction, just tell me who is your winner for this year's WPL. You are a Bengaluru fan, but Bangalore
yeah,
is almost, it will be the first team to be making way
yeah.
for the other teams.
So
So, how do you
yeah.
rate?
So personally, like I believe it will be a tough competition between Mumbai and Delhi, but I would back Delhi Capitals to take the title home. They have the experience of Meg Lanning, who has won the tournament, who has won so many tournaments so many times, and like they have a really good T20 team. They look the strongest on paper, and I would back Delhi Capitals to win. And before we end this, like I just have a small message for the cricketing fans of the Sportanic. So I know that. In the first impression, so when you watch the women's cricket game for the first time, you might not find it as interesting or as appealing as men's cricket. You'll feel like the boundaries are shorter, or the balls are not as fast as they are in the men's cricket. But the I would just like to tell you all that the efforts put by the girls,
Yeah,
they are pretty much the same, and in fact in some terms even more than what the what our idols from men's cricket they put in. So like these girls, they have to go to through uh, a lot of social they have to break a lot of
yeah,
social barriers to reach there. And I believe the cricketing audience, the game is same. Okay, the rules are all same. Okay, maybe
yeah,
a few rules here and there, they may be different, but in the end it's a game of a ball and a bat, and
yeah,
you have to score runs, you have to take wickets. The game is same, just the players are different. We should support the game, the women's cricket game as well. And as we will do that, I'm sure we will get similar idols out of women's cricket as well. The same way we have we have players who inspire us
yeah,
in from men's cricket. I'm very sure that a few years down the line, people will be you know people will be getting inspired from someone like a Bisma Mahroof for a Pakistani cricket fan, or like
yeah,
Richa Ghosh for an Indian cricket fan. So we need to support the game, and I'm sure the girls will really uh, will entertain us.
yeah. Definitely, it was really an inspiring message for all of us, like for
Yeah,
all the cricketing fans of Sportanic, and definitely the women's game need that amount of encouragement and obviously that kind of show time or the air time so that they get the equal level of interest
yeah,
and definitely the play field will be equal. So thank
yeah,
you, Utkarsh, for your time. I hope you will enjoy and you have enjoyed our question session. And obviously,
sure,
I have been a good host to you. I hope
yeah,
so. So, like, thank you for your time, and we'll see you again. We have on record that you are
yeah,
supporting Delhi Capitals to win this
yeah,
tournament. So we'll see
yeah,
you at the end of the tournament. Till
yeah.
then, take care. Have a nice sleep. Good night,
Thank,
and
thank,
we'll
thank you,
definitely
Sayed. Yeah, good night. Yeah, thank you.